Hello, my name is Catherine and I'm a doctor in natural medicine and a researcher in the field of kidney health. And today we talk about how to start improving your GFR number in all the stages of kidney disease, even stage 5. I've seen this happen personally. In one of my recent videos, I've interviewed a man named Mark who was on dialysis already at just 54 years of age. But then, he decided to change his life by taking a scientific approach to kidney disease and focusing on what worked for his very peculiar situation. He was able to get a result. And I know that this sounds incredible, but after 4 months on dialysis, he was actually able to get out of it, all thanks to a personalized diet, personalized supplementation, and a scientific approach to his treatment. Even more incredible, he continued to improve. When I interviewed Mark about 2 weeks ago, he was back in stage 3. And now the question is, how can you do the same? Well, it's simple. You need to focus on what works for you. Okay guys, since many of you liked my last video, I decided to show you more about how to personalize your own treatment for kidney disease. Personalization is extremely important. It can make the difference between ending up in dialysis and getting back to a better stage of kidney disease. In some of my last videos, I've talked about what really works depending on the other issues you may have in combination with CKD. Today, I want to go one step further by focusing on what actually works depending on your stage of CKD. Because this is what Mark did to get his health back. He found a supplement and a treatment that worked for stage 5 of CKD. Now, there are 5 stages of CKD, stage 1 being perfectly working kidneys and stage 5 being dialysis. As we can see, depending on your stage of kidney disease, the symptoms may vary greatly. Someone in stage 2 or 3 may have no symptoms at all, but someone in stage 5 may have symptoms so unbearable they absolutely need renal replacement therapy. Now, this is a mistake I see doing every day. People are being treated like they are in stage 4 when they are in stage 3, or even worse, vice versa. Today, we are making sure this doesn't happen to you. So let's see what really works depending on the stage of CKD you are in. Now guys, this video is meant to be watched in a linear fashion. My advice when watching this video is not to skip the initial stages because people in the more advanced stages are going to need to follow those recommendations as well. So question, what should you do if you get diagnosed with CKD stage 2? If you have been diagnosed already in stage 2, consider yourself lucky. This is a very early diagnosis and it's not common at all. And I know that not many people are going to feel lucky to know they have a disease that's still considered progressive and not curable. But trust me when I say that you are going to have plenty of opportunities to completely solve this issue, even before the first symptoms appear. Now, there are mainly 2 reasons why someone with CKD stage 2 or even 1 is being diagnosed. Usually, it's either kidney damage that's visible in imaging tests or because proteinuria that shows up in a regular checkup. And what you want to do here is pretty straightforward. Finding out and take care of the cause of the damage. Usually, what is causing issues with the kidneys are conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, or in some cases autoimmune or inflammatory conditions such as IgA nephropathy or glomerulonephritis. And while in these stages, you still don't even need to go low protein, a plant-based diet is not a bad idea at all. It can help with the metabolic diseases that damage the kidneys. Of course, make sure you are taking care of your whole body health because that's what's going to determine if your kidneys are going to stay healthy. Eat healthy, avoid bad habits, and start exercising regularly if you aren't already. And there are certain supplements we should consider already in stage 2 of kidney disease. These are not supplements that act directly on the kidneys, more on the causes of the disease. So, for example, someone with high blood pressure could consider nitric oxide and CoQ10 supplementation. Remember that keeping your blood pressure below 130/80 is a must for anyone wanting to improve or to keep their kidney health. And of course, stage 2 patients may still use blood pressure medications with few issues, but the more the disease progresses, the more those medications are going to cause risks. And by the way, the video about natural ways to treat high blood pressure that you guys were asking for is finally coming next Sunday. Remember to subscribe and set the notification bell to also you don't miss it. Now, a similar argument could be made about diabetes. Just like high blood pressure, diabetes must be stopped in order to improve. Someone with diabetes could consider berberine because it can help improving insulin sensitivity and decreasing blood sugar levels. And guys, I'm not going too much in depth about this because I've just made a video exactly to show you what the best supplements for the causes of CKD are. It's up here and also down in the description if you missed it. Up next, what should you do if you get diagnosed with CKD stage 3? If you are getting diagnosed in stage 3, there is one more thing you need to take care about. If you are getting diagnosed in stage 3, there is one more thing you need to care about. Toxins. Yes, stage 3 CKD is all about toxins and how to manage them. But keep in mind that this part is going to be very important even for those in stage 4 and 5. Alright, why, you may ask? Looking at the symptoms that are associated with the stages of kidney disease, it's clear that it's way more likely to be diagnosed in stage 3 than a lower stage. And of course, symptoms are not going to be the same for everyone, but there are some urinary symptoms that may point the doctor in the right direction here. If a doctor sees changes in urination patterns or urine of the wrong color, they may ask for your kidneys to be tested more in depth. And CKD stage 3 may also come with changes in blood pressure and swelling as well, as we can see. So question, how do you personalize your treatment if you have CKD in stage 3? While someone with diabetes or high blood pressure in CKD stage 2 may only want to take care of the cause of kidney disease and not kidney disease itself, in stage 3 we need to do one more step. In stage 3 CKD, you need to approach the treatment in a more direct way with a therapy that targets the kidneys directly. This is the biggest difference here, because keep in mind this, when your kidney function drops below 60, many of the toxins that the kidneys were able to remove before will start to accumulate. You need to change your diet and to take supplements just to avoid this, alright? And yes, for some CKD stage 3 patients, these few changes are going to be enough to completely stop the progression of the disease. Let's take a look at how we can do that. First of all, most important step, also for stage 4 and 5, the diet. Most important, uremic toxins come from your diet, alright? Uremic toxins are the toxins that cause the symptoms of CKD. These include urea, nitrogen, creatinine, and more. And do you know where these are coming from? Mostly from the protein in your diet. Guys, patients in stage 3 of CKD already need to start a low protein diet. Alright, we know that many foods that were healthy for you before, like lean meat, fatty fish, and dairy, are now going to damage the kidneys. These foods are the main source of nitrogen and the other uremic toxins. The less of these toxins you have in your body every day, the longer your kidneys are going to last. One more reason why you want to avoid excess protein intake is diabetes. Red meat and processed meat in particular are to be avoided here because they are linked to higher risk for diabetes. But frankly, most animal-based foods are caloric dense, and that's the opposite of what someone with diabetes should eat. In my experience, I've noticed that almost every patient gets better insulin sensitivity, and better blood sugar levels when they start to swap out highly caloric animal-based foods for plant-based foods. You know, steak, bacon, pork, meat, dairy are full of calories. They make you gain weight. But if you eat the same amount of veggies and fruit, the caloric intake is going to be much smaller, and this is key to improve with diabetes. Now guys, following a low protein diet is a must in all the stages, starting from stage 3 but especially stage 4 and 5, if not yet on dialysis. But usually patients on dialysis are going to need a lot more protein because, do you remember all those toxins that animal-based foods are going to produce? Urea, creatinine, nitrogen. Well, that's exactly what you are going to remove when doing dialysis. In fact, one of the reasons why Mark was able to achieve a success so incredible with kidney disease stage 5 and to go back to stage 3 was his absolutely strict diet. Mark is writing down and counting all the calories and protein he eats every day. And this is something I would recommend to patients in stage 3 already, especially if diabetes is also present. In fact, current guidelines for CKD management prescribe a very strict control on protein intake already from stage 3. But there are 2 more stages of CKD we need to talk about today, the most serious ones. So if you want to know more about the renal diet, my recent video up here and also down in the description is for you. Now question, what should you do if you get diagnosed with CKD stage 4? Okay, this is where things get complicated. Stage 4 is all about the complications, and you see a lot more patients are going to be diagnosed when they reach CKD stage 4, and this is because there are more symptoms in stage 4 often caused by complications. Most common symptoms include fluid retention, swelling or edema of extremities, and shortness of breath. Urination changes are usually present too, and some patients may also experience kidney pain, sleep problems, muscle cramps, and well, more. You see, in kidney disease, the symptoms are not always going to be the same for everyone. Most of these symptoms you see are aspecific, meaning that other conditions may cause them as well. This is why we can't rely too much on them to gauge the health of our kidneys. Getting tested regularly is the only way to know. And it will also help us to deal with complications. Complications are all those health conditions that are caused by kidney disease and that may, well, cause serious kidney damage. We do not want that, of course. So question, how to beat the complications of CKD? Well, first of all, by getting diagnosed as soon as possible. There are mainly 4 complications with relative symptoms you should pay attention to. Let's see how to identify and treat them. First of all, very common, there is anemia. Anemia usually presents with fatigue, and you will also feel always cold, especially in the hands and feet. This is a very undiagnosed complication. Too many doctors do not pay attention to it. Still in 2024, make sure you always getting tested for iron levels. If this level is too low, take action immediately. To beat anemia, you will need a diet rich in iron. Legumes, seeds, and leafy greens is where you can get iron from the diet. Taking a renal multivitamin with iron is also very helpful here. But if you have anemia in stage 4 CKD, you will want to be prescribed erythropoietin as well. Make sure your doctor is not forgetting about this. Next, very serious complication you need to know about is metabolic acidosis. This is a build of acid in the blood. It doesn't necessarily come with symptoms you can see immediately. So what you want to do here is getting tested for serum bicarbonate level. If this level is too low, below 23 milliequivalents per liter, you will have to take, well, bicarbonate. Now, if you suffer from metabolic acidosis, you absolutely want to make sure your diet is on point. You see, excess acid in the blood can be caused by eating too much acid-forming foods. I'm talking about meat, fish, dairy, fried foods, sweets, junk foods in general. And while taking sodium bicarbonate will help with metabolic acidosis, there is no way to get better in stage 4 when the diet is not 100% dialed in. Metabolic acidosis can also cause another complication, hyperkalemia or too high potassium level. Yes, this can be also caused by excess acid in blood, which means that despite what many people will tell you, eating meat is way more likely to mess with your potassium levels than eating bananas, alright? But why should you trust me about this and not that other million of computer-generated YouTube videos that are telling people to avoid bananas and avocados?
Top 18 worst foods that can destroy your kidneys.
Well, because when I tell you that high serum potassium level can be caused by metabolic acidosis, I'm directly quoting the most updated rule book for CKD, alright? And guys, as we can read on screen, the other most likely causes for too high potassium level include unmedicated diabetes and too medicated high blood pressure. This last one is actually the most likely cause for high potassium level. So if your potassium level is above 5.2 milliequivalents per liter, tell your doctor to look into your ARB and your ACE inhibitor prescription. See if the dose can be lowered. Last but not least, when it comes to complications, mineral and bone disorder. Each one of the complications we have seen can be enough to cause renal failure, and this one is as dangerous as anything else. Mineral and bone disorder occurs when blood levels of calcium and phosphorus are out of balance. This is treated by avoiding phosphorus-containing foods. Again, meat, fish, dairy, sodas, packaged, and junk foods in general, and by supplementing calcium carbonate. Some people take Tums for this at meals, but I prefer just normal calcium carbonate supplements as they come without added sugar. Now guys, I want to be very clear on this. Letting any complication or comorbidity go untreated or unnoticed may put you in danger of renal failure. Complications should always be dealt with as soon as they present. So get tested regularly. And the same can be said for CKD stage 5. So question, what should you do if you get diagnosed with CKD stage 5? Stage 5 is when most patients are started on dialysis, and if possible, they can also be put on a transplant list. Now guys, my best advice for anyone who is in stage 5 is to hang on tight and, well, survive. Do dialysis regularly if you need to. Stay on that transplant list and never lose hope, because there are huge breakthroughs coming. Miracle treatments are at the horizon, and we may be only a few years away from saying goodbye to renal failure forever. Stem cells, they are being tested on CKD patients today with incredible results. This woman was on dialysis, but thanks to a stem cell therapy that was specific for her condition, she has almost normal kidney function now. Not to mention xenotransplantation. There is a man called Richard Slayman who lost all of his kidney function and also lost the first kidney they transplanted from another human into him. But today, he is not on dialysis. He received a kidney from a pig, and he is living his normal life again. And he is not the only one. On the 12th of April, a woman from New Jersey named Lisa Pisano received both a kidney and heart pump from a pig. Yes, we are getting way closer to a revolution in the treatment for kidney failure than most people realize. And I talk a lot more in depth about this breakthrough in my video up here. Watch it now for more, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!